What's the plan for the next one?
Same.
Same.
Same. I don't need to do anything more because it was close. I did nothing wrong. I did everything good. I chose to fight backwards, yeah, because I'm a slick counterpunch boxer, as you can see. As you can ask by USYK's jaw and eye bone. When I right uppercut, lead right uppercut was hitting him in the face. Boom! Maybe if I just keep a little bit more focused, same again. Pop, 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 pop.
You want to keep the weight? You want to go up in weight?
No, I want to box like I did before.
Speed.
Do you think this fight will look a lot like the first fight did, or will it be different this time?
Will be a different fight.
Tyson Fury ain't gonna be changing his game plan. That's his biggest mistake. He lost the first one. Look, it's okay to stay your way. You know, if things worked out, don't change something which isn't broken. But right now, it is broken. You lost the fight. And you can say it was a split decision, but at the end of the day, you were still in trouble and you nearly got knocked out. So if you don't change your ways now, Usyk's just going to exploit that in the rematch. And they went on to a good point.
You seemed like you were fighting better going forward, but you chose to fight backwards a lot.
Yeah.
Am I saying that wrong? Was that the strategy?
I chose to fight backwards, yeah.
But going into the fight, you're like, I'm going to have to chase him. He's going to be a rabbit.
Yeah.
But you were kind of the one going backwards. Why was that?
Because I'm a slick counterpunch boxer, as you can see.
Tyson Fury here, who's in big trouble. Tyson Fury is all round undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Tyson Fury is ready.
And that Tyson Fury towards the second half of that fight fought in his back foot. He changed his game plan. He said he was going to walk Usyk down, much smaller man, a lighter man. He shouldn't be in this weight. He's going to blow him out of the waters with his sheer size and height advantage. But that wasn't the case because he knew when he got into the fight that this ain't no bum. This ain't just no average little guy. This is a great little guy. Usyk's crafty. You're not just going to weight bully your way and then throw your weight around in the ring with him and expect him to just crumble. No, he's been dealing with guys like this. Remember, he fought a super heavyweight at one point. He's used to bigger guys. And also, he uses your weight against you. And that's what Tyson Fury found out in the first fight. He angles you at a different point where typically Tyson's style and his game plan of just leaning on for other fighters and using his height and his weight advantage to just kind of like wear him down. Like, no, that wasn't working with Usyk because he was changing angles continuously. He was always moving around that target. And it made Fury a bigger target inside the ring. You know, if you just try to walk him down and you try to lean your weight against him, and that's how he got caught because he underestimated Usyk's footwork, his agility, and his ring craftiness inside, and the angles that he punches at. You know, he can really hit you with different punches at any given moment. Like he's not a typical fighter where he has to plant his foot, he has to be a specific angle and he has to reset in order to throw punches. Like, no, he can really throw at any given moment at any given time. He's always in balance and he's always ready to throw. That's how Fury got caught with that magnificent punch in the first fight that nearly knocked him out. That was an overhand punch that Fury never saw coming because Usyk was off balance, or so he thought. But in reality, he still had another punch coming his way. And Fury's biggest mistake now in the rematch is not acknowledging that fact. He thinks that he fought a great fight, which he did, but things has to be tweaked a little bit. You can't just continue fighting the way you are in a fight that you got thoroughly beaten. I would say, even though some may say it was a close fight, like there wasn't much damage done to Usyk, and there was a ton of damage done on Fury. Not to mention that Usyk is the smaller guy, but by the sound of things, Fury ain't changing nothing, nada. He's just gonna stick to the same game plan he had going into the first fight and apply that, and maybe hope for the best on the second fight and polish things a little bit better. But that ain't gonna work because Usyk already has you figured out. On the later part of that fight, Usyk already figured out Fury. And he's just gonna go into this fight with more intel, with more knowledge of Tyson Fury's fighting style because he's already been in there. He's had the worst over now. He knows how Tyson Fury fights, he knows how strong he is, he knows his weight, he knows his punch, and he's been caught with a great uppercut. And he didn't go nowhere. So he can take Tyson's best and give it back also. So he's going to come in there with that confidence, also having that confidence of getting the win in the first one. So you're going to come in there like knowing that you've already beat this guy, but now you can beat him more thoroughly. And I feel like that's what's going to happen on this fight because of the mere fact that Tyson Fury refuses to acknowledge his mistakes in the first fight, and more importantly, refuses to change the game plan. You got to change the tactics. You can't have the same tactics that you had going in there, because it's not going to work against Usyk. Usyk already has everything set up for you. Your counter punches, he already solved that in the first fight. You know, going in the back foot, he just chases you down, changes the angles, and waits for your pot shots. Because Tyson Fury pot shots, you know, he reaches, and then, you know, uppercut. Every now and then straight, then leans on you. Usyk, just like how he got through with that punch, is that once Tyson Fury measures you and throws that missile of a right hand, he dodges that, and once he dodges that, Tyson Fury doesn't have anything coming back anymore. What he does is he leans on the fighters that he has. When he leans against Usyk, he's not going to be there to lean on, and that's what happened on that first punch that nearly knocked him out. It's because Fury was leaning towards Usyk, and he thought Usyk was going to be there to catch him, but instead he angled it out and caught him with another punch coming through. Now, you can say that Fury has a great repertoire and boxing IQ, but his size is like a double-edged sword. It has won him many fights, and it has given him so much advantage in past fights, but against someone who is agile, that height, that weight, it goes against you, because you have someone that is jotting in, out, side to side, and you can't catch him, and you can't even lean on him. You can't even tire him out, because if you do, then you put yourself in danger zone of getting caught with an overhand as you lean through, because when you lean on someone, you put your head down, and that takes away all your advantage of your height. It puts him in harm's way. So Fury can't really fight in the back foot. He has to pick up the pace and dictate the pace of the fight. Usyk was the one dictating it in the last fight. He was the one who was being more calculated. He was the one who was picking up the pace, and he had the ring generalship, and he was the one that had Fury on the back foot. And to the judge's eyes, that's going to count for something, because he's taking control of the fight, not the other way around. Whereas if you see a smaller man dictating the pace against a bigger guy, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're viewing it through a boxing savant's eyes, or a critic's eyes, or just a random viewer of the street, you're always going to think that the smaller guy is winning, just because of the mere fact that you're pushing back the bigger fighter. Not to mention the effective pressure and aggressiveness that Usyk applies into the fight, which favors him in terms of the judge's eyes and picks apart those close rounds that he would win. Now, Usyk already has all the intel gathered, and all he's got to do is apply the same game plan that worked before, but with more aggression now. How I see this fight going for Usyk is that he's going to be more aggressive, much more aggressive in this fight, and he's going to push the pace from the get-go, round one onwards, because he already knows Tyson Fury's style, and he just has to pick his shots, pepper him, get into the angles, in and out, and Tyson Fury can't do anything about that. He's just waiting on the counter and hoping that something will land, just like last time, setting traps. But you can't set traps against someone who's so agile, because when you set a trap that you're waiting for them, they're already gone. Ironically enough, as Fury calls Usyk the rabbit, you won't catch the rabbit. He's too quick. Usyk's going to push the pace from the get-go and try to really bring the fight to Fury, get him hurt, invest in the body. And I see Fury coming down again, trying to lean on when he gets hurt, and then he leans on Usyk, and I see Usyk finishing him off with an overhand or a haymaker over the top as Fury tries to wrap his long arms against Usyk. I'm predicting around 6 to 7 stoppage by Usyk. I'm torn, being in England. I'd love for Fury to win. I mean, he's a great inspiration for a lot of British fighters, and obviously I've got to be on his side, but it's neglectful for him to not acknowledge those facts and the things that went wrong in the first fight. I see Usyk really exploiting that, and I know he's already got a game plan. Like, his team asked, like, what are you going to change? Are you going to change weight? Are you going to be higher on this? And by the looks of it, Fury is going to be boxing and trying to go in the back foot, because he's going to come in lighter. I mean, in his younger days, I mean, he even weighed in as light as 245 pounds. So he really wants to come in lighter this fight so that he can use his legs and go in the back foot, try to counter and box Usyk, who is a smaller fighter. So Fury's going to use his range and his height, pick apart Usyk from the outside. But Usyk's just going to find his way on the inside through footwork. You just can't keep him at bay long enough, because Usyk's always active and his footwork is impeccable. But that's Tyson Fury's game plan. He wants to fight in the back foot, come in light, try to box him like Ali. But I feel like he's going to come into this fight at 255, which will be his lightest weight since he came back in 2019 from his hiatus of that, morbid obesity and severe depression back then. But this will be his lightest weight since his comeback. But I feel like Usyk will exploit that, because now Tyson Fury is lighter. he can push him around a little bit more. Tyson Fury in the first fight against Usyk came in at 262 pounds, which was already his lightest weight since 2019. But he's gonna come even lighter for the rematch to apply that stick and move strategy Usyk and try to box Usyk. But I just don't think he'll be able to keep away Usyk long enough with that range, because you can keep away brawlers, you can box brawlers, you can keep them away, you can keep him at bay. Usyk is a pure boxing technician. He's gonna find his way in the inside. Plus, he doesn't move with his head, his body. He moves with his feet, and he's always constantly changing angles. His footwork is great, and his speed and agility as well. And he can take a hit, most importantly. So Tyson knows he can't just bully him. He can't just knock him out. In his fight against Wilder's chin has always been a question mark because it's never been tested. And once he got tested against Fury, he got knocked out. I think Usyk's greatest asset is his chin. He's got granite chin. Like, you ain't cracking him. And you caught him with his best shot with an uppercut. It was a similar uppercut that knocked out Dillian Whyte, but he stood his ground. He got hit, but he's still standing. Them Ukrainians something different, man. Usyk's just in Tyson Fury's head at this stage. He just can't get away from that. He's always told him that he's the smaller man. You're not on my level. You're too small for me. I'm the heavyweight king. And then now to be picked apart by the smaller man and to be battered pillar to pillar in a boxing ring in front of thousands and even millions, that plays a psychological factor in Fury's mind. I mean, he's been undefeated for so long and he's been the one that's bashing these guys up, and then now to be beaten and for your undefeated record to be taken away from you in the undisputed fight, that takes a toll on Fury's head. Now, never underestimate the Gypsy King. He's always got that magic, but I just feel like Usyk is the more superior boxer overall and has the more skill set and repertoire to come up on top on the fight night. But nonetheless, an undisputed fight again for the heavyweight world title is amazing. To get to see this back to back in the same year, I mean, this is gonna be amazing, and I'm just a fan, you know. And for us boxing fans throughout the world, we're in for a treat. Whoever comes up on top, these are two gentlemen and warriors that gets into the ring and goes to war. So whoever you got, just enjoy this time and moment, because who knows, this might be the last undisputed heavyweight champion we'll see for decades again. So I hope you like that video and stay tuned for more boxing news. Plenty of boxing content coming through. That's another episode of Taz Talks Fighting. Peace.